What's going on, people? It's your boy Big Oaks, and welcome back to the Voice of the Toon. So we're talking today Manchester City, Newcastle United host Man City in a 12:30 kickoff game, live on TV again, in the Premier League on Saturday afternoon, and just fresh off the back of that Fulham defeat, which I was at the game. I was in the away end, and I could say that was probably one of the worst performances I've seen in a very, very long time. Last season I saw some bad performances. Arsenal away, I was there. Spurs away, I was there as well. But Spurs and Arsenal are good sides. They're very good sides. They've got quality players. Fulham, I don't think there's any Fulham player that gets into the Newcastle starting 11. Not even the left back, Anthony Robinson. So to lose the game the way we did, to make the start in the game the way we did, to go down 1-0 so early in the game and 2-0 by mistake, and just not be at the races and not keep the ball properly. And I know it's been coming, but to just lose the game the way we did was poor for me, especially given the fact that if we had gotten 3 points, we would have been sat top of the league for 24 hours. What more of an incentive do you need? But I do believe in that game Eddie Howe got the team wrong, but there's no difficult fixture after that. So it's like now we've got Man City, the champions, the team that's top of the league. They're unbeaten, 4 wins out of 5. A draw against Arsenal last weekend. They've just got that mentality of just never die, and that's why they're so successful. So it's now a difficult task for us, especially off that Fulham defeat, to bounce back, because history tells us that this game against Man City is very unlikely that we're going to get the win, because in the last 20 years, I can tell you for a fact, we've only won 3 times against Man City in the Premier League, and all those wins were at home. So and in recent times at home, we've put up a fight. I recall a 4-3 defeat to Man City. I recall a 3-3 draw. I think last season was close as well. But if there is any positives to take coming into this game and to use, or any fire to use, it will be that League Cup win that we got over Man City 2 years ago, where in the second half we absolutely ran them right and we got the win, and was on the way to the final. So in recent times at home, we've given them a good game. Let's call it that. So Pep understands how dangerous we can be. Pep's has always had some nice words to say about Eddie Howe's Newcastle. So he understands our threat. But if we are to take anything from this game, if we are to avoid a humiliating defeat, we need to be better. And when we beat was it Wolves? Yeah, when we beat Wolves, it was 3 wins out of 4. I was, I'm in a camp of, listen, mate, we're getting the wins, innit? We're getting the wins, we're getting the results. These wins will add up at the end of the season, so they will count. Even though we're not performing well, we're still getting the wins. But the Fulham game was like a kick in the teeth, because it was just like, okay, cool. The pessimists, or if I can call them that, the fans that probably are who are so focused on the way that we've been performing and not looking at the positive side of things, we gave them ammunition now, because it's like they feel justified now, because at the end of the day, now people are saying that was coming, and to be fair, it's true. We did have it coming, but not against Fulham, man. So I think Saturday's game, we need to raise the levels tenfold, because if we don't, we will get humiliated. Even though we know that Man City are missing probably one of the best players in Rodri. For me, it doesn't matter, because they've still got enough quality in that team, in their squad, to cause us a lot of problems. And how do we approach this game? I don't know, to be fair to you, because if we make it an open game, City kill us with Haaland. They've got players that can kill us on the counter attack. Savinho, Doku, who I don't really rate like that, but on his day he could be a problem, and especially against Trippier, if Trippier starts, and if it's an open game, he could cause issues. So I wouldn't advise Eddie Howe, or I wouldn't advise it to be an open game. So then what do we do? Do we sit back and defend and try and get a smash and grab? I think the best way to do this is on the ball. Yeah, first and foremost, don't give City any excuse to score. So That's the first thing, because I watched City during the week in a cup, and I think they play Watford, and Watford were trying to play out the back, and obviously like that's that's like playing into City's hands, and City managed to get a goal from that. So I don't think we should play into their hands. I don't think we should try and play football and try to build up from the back. I think we've got to win the second balls. I think we've got to try and make it a nasty game, win the second balls, and in midfield we need to be much better on the ball. So because against Fulham, it was just going from side to side, and Eddie Howe started Willock and Joe Linton, and for me that's where he went wrong, because they're two similar players. They're two players that like to run in behind, or they're runners. Even when we're on the ball, guys are still sprinting on the ball. When you have the ball as a team, that's your respite. That's where you can dictate play, and and gain some energy and gain some momentum in the game. But for some reason, for us, when we're on the ball, it's also rushed in midfield. So we are forced to keep going along. And against Man City, if we keep doing that, they'll just knock it down, bring it down, and play football, and it'll come back straight into us. So I just think in midfield we need to show, if we do play out from the back, which I don't think we should encourage, but which means we've got to win second balls. But in midfield, when we win those second balls, we need to keep it. We need to keep it, and if we do create chances, and which I'm sure we will, because City do leak goals, City don't keep clean sheets as often as they should. So if we do get chances, we need to be clinical. So Isak, if he's fit, because obviously before the Fulham game, he had a toe issue. If he's fit, if Anthony Gordon starts, I'm sure he will, and Harvey Barnes. If these guys play, we need them to be on the ball. And when I say on the ball, I mean on form, and take the chances, take opportunities, not just the chances, but the opportunities that we have where we could break on them. The final ball, the ball that we play into the attackers, it needs to be quality, because very rarely do you get chances against Man City. So I think we need to be clinical and just better on the ball in midfield, and have players who aren't afraid to get on the ball, because City do press you high. So Joe Linton, boy, he's not been great at all. I'm a big fan of his since Eddie Howe moved him into midfield, as we all know. But this season, man, he's just not been good enough in midfield, and it's showing now that he's not a natural midfielder. Do you get me? It's showing now, because when he's in tight spaces on the ball or on a half turn, he's giving it away, or he's not showing for it because he doesn't believe himself. So, I just think if we are to get any chances or anything out of this game, we need to take our chances. Take our chances and control or slow the game down, especially in midfield, and use the pace of Anthony Gordon to probably trouble Kyle Walker, not in terms of pace wise, but in terms of his positioning, and just obviously use his energy, because obviously Kyle Walker's fast, but he doesn't have the same energy as Anthony Gordon. So we've got probably target Kyle Walker, target and on whoever City play on the left hand side, either Guardiola or okay, they will probably try to be bombing forward. So these are the things that we should try and do. But again, it's so hopeful, because like I said, our record against them is not great. So with that said, the team that I'll play, because I do believe Eddie Howe got it wrong against Fulham. Like I said, the team that I'll play, obviously Pope and goal. Pope needs to do better, because he conceded a cheap goal against Fulham. Emile Smith Rowe, his second goal, a little toe poke, and Pope flapped at it and he went in just like that. And from then it was game over. So Pope needs to be better. If Pope has the ball at his feet, he's going to get pressed. I don't like. I can see it now, innit? And I'm not always negative. I'm never negative when it comes to Newcastle, but I can just see it now. Nick Pope getting the ball, Haaland pressing him, and then Nick Pope just fluffs his lines, and then City go on to score or to create a chance. So which is what I pray doesn't happen. So Nick Pope needs to be better with his feet, and obviously with his shot stopping. Left back, I still keep Lloyd Kelly, even though he didn't have the best game. A lot of the fans in the stands and Fulham were getting onto him, rightly so. But I just wouldn't play Lewis Hall there against Man City and against Savinho. Oof, no, that's unfair. That's asking for trouble. Lewis Hall's great on the ball, great going forward, but defensively, you know, I think the game against City on Saturday is going to be a defensive job. So we need our defenders in it, basically. So Lloyd Kelly, and then in defence, centre back Dan Burn, Shaw as usual, and Trippier again, because this game we're going to need experience. In midfield, this is where I think Eddie Howe got it wrong because like I said, he played Joelinton and Willock. So Bruno, who needs to be better, man. He's not having the best season with Brazil, neither with Newcastle. He's captain, but like I said in my last video, he's playing a bit with too much emotion. He's playing a bit with too much. Like if it was like because he's captain now, he's got to want to foul and fight players and do what you're good at. Get the ball and move it. Get the ball off defenders and move it, and just let your feet do the talking with the ball. So Bruno in there, he also needs to improve. With Joelinton, I think again another player who needs to improve. He's been way off it, like I said. And then Tonali. So I think Willock drops out. Tonali. And the only reason why I'll play Joelinton over Longstaff is just because of his physical ability. Longstaff gets some criticism from Newcastle fans, which I think sometimes it's quite unfair, because there's other guys that's stinking out the place that isn't getting the same level of criticism. So I think that's the midfield I'll do. With Sandro coming in there, he can also get the ball off the defenders, because that's what we were missing against Fulham. It was only Bruno getting the ball off the defenders, and Fulham realised that Willock and Big Joe, they didn't fancy that. Bruno was marked out of the game, and we just kept going side by side in defence. Oh, Shaw just kept hitting it long, and we can't afford to keep doing it against Man City, because they were, like I say, they'll win the ball, knock it down, and keep playing. Unless we press them high and win the second balls, maybe. But so Sandro T will help us sort of not control the game, but at least get us on the ball and string some passes together. In attack, Anthony Gordon out on the left. He started out on the right against Fulham, and it didn't work. I think he's one of our best players, and I understand Harvey Barnes has been good, but we don't sacrifice Gordon for Barnes. No matter how well Barnes is playing, Gordon should always start on the left, because he's one of our best players. And then Barnes on the right. I think that's what Eddie Howe should do, and up front, Kim and Isak. Jacob Murphy, who also works hard, and he probably might have a role to play in the team on Saturday because of his work ethic. Might come on. He looked good against Fulham on Saturday when he came on. So that's the team I'll do. A tricky game, to be fair, and I'm going to predict a 2-1 City win. And obviously, because they're missing Rodri, it's going to be probably most likely Kovacic in midfield, and we've seen City do it before. So City aren't the same side when Rodri's not there. So we have to use that. We've got to play on that. We probably have to be more aggressive in midfield, because it's going to be probably Kovacic, Gundogan, maybe Bernardo Silva, Foden. That's not the most physical side. So that's probably where we can win some battles in midfield and physicality. So that's why I said in midfield earlier on that we need to be better. So 2-1 Man City win. And do you know what? And this game coming now, it might come at the right time, because we've not been performing well. And sometimes you need to play against top level to realize how bad you've been. So maybe City could help us raise our levels. We'll see. So 2-1 Man City, that's what I'm predicting, just based off the fact that we've only won 3 times in the last 20 years against them. But I do think, we'll give ourselves a good account. We need a response in terms of performance, because we've not been good of recent. So that's my predictions. That's my preview. Thanks for watching. It's your boy Big Uggs. Make sure to like, comment, and to subscribe. I'm out.